Okay, let's take a look at the debugger. Made up a program called Debugger. Pretty straightforward. Gets two values from the keyboard. Does a little modular division on line 25, a little multiplication on line 26, and a little math.pow raising the number decimal to the power of remainder. Not very exciting. So as opposed to using the run project, we're going to use the debug, which is Control F5 as opposed to just F5. So there are two different ways we can do it. We'll just do it the default way, and then we'll use the little red dot in a minute. So it says, would you like to start the main method? That's the only method we have right now. That's yes. If you're looking at classes, you could set that differently, and we'll worry about that later. So yes. So now the first thing you wanted, so now notice the debug output shows up, and this one here shows up. This originally was over here. Let me just try to squeeze that back in there. So now notice the debug output is the output, excuse me, that's one of the windows you want to see. The second one you want to see is locals. So what you want to do is you want to drag that out so that you can see it. So debug output, you can't see that. Debug output and locals are the two that you want. So I just, locals was just one of the tabs down at the bottom. So right now the yellow arrow tells us where we are. We're on line 19. In order to go to line 20, you just hit F10. So I'm hitting F10 off screen. And notice that it says enter a number. So I'm going to key that because that's what it says, right? Enter a number. And we want to give it a number, so I'm just going to give it 12. I press enter, so now 12 is stored as the variable number. And I hit F10 so that it goes to the next line of the code. I think I hit F10 twice. So now we're on line 22. You want to enter another number, so I just hit 3.2. Oh yeah, I forgot to notice that over here, number is now stored as 12, and that was the first value that I plugged in there, so that was 12. So I hit enter again, and then I hit F10, so my arrow will go down to the next line of code. Notice that it skips down to line 25, and remainder is equal to the number that I initially plugged in, mod 10. So that would be 2, and notice over here, that number is has not changed. So decimal, okay, all right, sorry, got confused. There he goes. There's remainder is now 2. And if we want to know what value is, just hit F10 again, and I just make this window a little bit bigger. So now we can see value is 38.4, so I believe that is 12 times 3.2, which is 36, so that looks like 38.4 looks about right. Hit F10 again, and then notice that we have answer, should be up top. Answer is 10.24. And that is math.pow decimal raised to the power of remainder. And then as we hit F10, it's now just going to go through lines 30, 31, and 32, which are just your general outputting statements. And notice down on my debug output, those values kick out. Okay. Here's one of the problems. If you hit F10 again after the program is done, you get this strange thread.java that pops open. That's just because you went too far. So usually what I do is I just close that window and then hit the lightning bolt to kill the program. So let's run this a different way. Let's pretend that I'm pretty confident that these lines of code right here, 18, 19, 18 through 23 are pretty straightforward. So I'm going to put a little red dot at line 25. So that means the debugger is going to skip all this stuff. It's not going to show you that debug output window. It'll just skip right down to there. Actually, let's do 2026. That makes more sense. So I'm going to hit Control F5, and I'm going to run the debugger. It's a little slower than the normal one. So notice that locals, the current thread is not available. So I'm just going to plug in 12. And notice that in the locals, nothing is showing up because the debugger is really not going to start running until it hits down to line 26. So I'll do 3.2. And then notice as soon as so now the arrow notices that's on line 26. So it's already calculated remainder, which was 2. It calculated number, which was I already plugged that in at 3.2. I plugged those in back on line 20 and 22. So now I'm stuck on the value, and that's going to do the product of number and decimal. So I hit F10, and now value shows up, which is the product of these two numbers. Then I hit F10 again, and line 27 is executed, 38.4, and then I just keep hitting F10 until it runs out of the program. And then again, if you hit it one too many times, it'll come up with that thread.java, or you can just get the lightning bolt to kill it, and you're all set. And then look how everything goes back to normal. Okay, so that's the end of that. Thanks.